coming to you from my parents' place in Italy, which is out in the countryside, and in a rainstorm is having a poor internet connection. So I was good just a few minutes ago, and then I wasn't. So hopefully I'm good now. Violet, audio's good.
Yep.
You guys can hear me? Okay, great. So let me jump right into it. Uh, so the theme for today is catastrophizing. And the reason this came up for me is I'm my mom and dad live in Italy, which is very far away. It's actually 6,116 miles away from San Francisco. And I got here yesterday. They're aging. There's some things going on. There's some challenges here about living in the countryside in Italy. So I have my list of, climb up on the roof and do this and crawl under the, go into the basement and fix that other thing. And what I've been noticing is today with the storms and the weather is a mindset of what I would call catastrophizing. So there's so many reasons that I'm being presented with on a regular basis about why this thing isn't going to work or why that's the problem and that surely is going to be a major hassle. And it's really hard, it's really hard to witness it. I just realize how difficult and challenging it is for them to be living it. And it just really, for me, it just really emphasized the reason we get together on a regular basis to do what we're doing is to make sure that we do whatever we can to address the fact that as we age and as things start falling apart around us, be it our hearing or our, just aches and pains, arthritis, like these, all of this stuff adds up. And if we're not careful, it can culminate in this subjective experience of catastrophizing. We can find all the reasons why this is not going to work or what's wrong with the situation. And it's really hard, with all the sympathy that I can experience. I realize like I got my own stuff that's starting to add up, things I can't do the way I used to. And I see it in them, they're in their 80s and 90s. Yeah, it's a lot. So the time to practice and get good at positivity and the things that we're practicing here at the time is now. It gets harder and harder the longer we wait. So Mindfulness Mondays, the theme for today for me is when we think without knowing that we're thinking, meaning when we just fall back into believing whatever bounces around between our ears, it's very easy for us to get confused about who and what we are. So again, the thoughts and the emotions and the mood, the attitude, it all happens very quickly and very automatically. And if we forget that we can actually bear witness to what's happening in that moment, it's very easy for us to go down the rabbit hole. So today I'd love to spend some time just going back to the real basics of just remembering, like, we are not what we think, we are not what we feel, we are that which bears witness to those events happening. And that's our freedom. So long preamble, sorry, but let's drop into that space. So close your eyes. And just taking a moment to connect to the part of ourselves that can set the intention to slow down, to become present with right here, right now. And our presence and our ability to be here now is influenced by, but at the end of the day has nothing to do with whether or not the internet connection is working, whether or not people around us are seeing us or hearing us, whether or not conditions, whether we feel like anything. It's really simple. It's really just about bearing witness to right here, right now. These are the things that I'm noticing are happening. And I simply get to bear witness to all of it. I don't need to do anything about it. It doesn't determine whether or not my life is good or bad or whether I'm successful or not. It's just about being conscious and awake and aware. And once that happens, we have the power to choose what we want to do with it, with that information in that situation. When we think without knowing that we're thinking, it's really easy to get confused about who we are, what we are, what's important, who we want to be. See if you can really feel into the experience of knowing that the brain is thinking, that the body is sensing and feeling. In this moment right now, see if you can become aware of what it's like to witness all of these things happening. Thoughts, feelings, memories, beliefs, inner dialogue, judgments. We can take a step back and just see them for what they are. When we become aware of all of this happening, and there's a tiny part of us that actually gets to choose what we want to do with all of it. I think what I experienced today was the extreme version of when we forget that it's all happening and that we have a choice. There's a natural tendency to catastrophize and focus on the worst, the most difficult, and all the problems. And that's really stressful. It's a really hard way to be. lot of suffering involved in that. So flexing the mindfulness muscle on a regular basis is the doorway into this freedom, this ability to know that we're thinking, to know that we're feeling, to know that the body's sensing. And once we know that's happening, we get to choose what we want to do with all of that information. In my experience, that's freedom. That's the beginning of living a life of our choosing. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Long, slow out breath through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, jaw. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale through the nose. Long, slow, really patient exhale. And then hold the exhale with patience and calm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Come back. And I wasn't too rambly there in the beginning, but it really struck me how this thing that we do on a regular basis here, this is where we build those literal and metaphorical muscles of being able to, in difficult situations, be able to regroup and come back to a place where we don't get completely consumed by our thoughts or our impulsive or even compulsive emotions and reactions, but we actually get to just take a step back and breathe and make some really deliberate, calm, hopefully joyful choices about what it is that we want to do next. And yeah, hope that was helpful. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.